I was adopted from South Korea at the age of 7 months old. I came on a plane full of babies in 1967. I was raised in California. My mother and father were quite young when they adopted me. My father had been in the Navy. At age 25, I wanted to take a trip to Mexico, and I knew I needed to apply for a passport. Got to the window to turn in my application. The paperwork that I had was insufficient, and I was told that I was not a U.S. citizen. I was very confused by it. You know, I thought this was just a fluke. I was just a one-off. I had fallen through the cracks. We grow up with American values. Our mindset is very American, and all of a sudden you recognize that the government really isn't here for you. Automatically, you're a second-class citizen.
I was a private adoption. It was basically the Iranian government and the United States government having an agreement that there was an orphan that needed a new home, so I was adopted into a military family. I arrived on a visitor's visa. That's how all of the children from Iran were coming into the United States. It was a 6-month visitor's visa, and so they hold me accountable for being a visa overstay. The government says it's my fault. When I turned 18, I was no longer an adoptee in the viewpoint of the U.S. government and immigration. I'm an immigrant. The letter stated that my parents had an obligation to naturalize me before the age of 18. I have asked the State Department, I've asked immigration, I've asked Congress, I've asked the Senate, my own senator, my congressman. I've asked them repeatedly for help, and everybody's just turned a blind eye to my situation.
We're aware that there were some groups of adoptees that were deported, and we don't know the size of those groups. Legislation takes a long time, and yet adoptees had everyday need. You know, whether it's student aid or Social Security or driver's license. We began to figure out ways to support those needs through funding and so on. Receiving my citizenship at this age is definitely bittersweet, although it alleviates a lot of fear that I might have for what the future holds.
The government betrayed my dad too, you know, through adoption. They promised him that I was going to be an American, that he did what he needed to do to make me an American, and today they're not honoring any of those promises that were made to him or myself.